What's up guys, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to take a look at some shoes I got from Skechers. These are called the Go Walk Max Halcyon. They come in a color of brown. They retail for a price of $80. If you've got any questions, be sure to leave them down below. And please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's get into it. Let me talk about the features of this shoe. So here you've got, let's start off on the bottom. The bottom of the shoe has some decent tread along on it. You can see there it'll grip somewhat. And then the sole is also very flexible. So you can see that it's soft and flexible and it's not too stiff. Moving on to the upper is 100% vegan. It is breathable. Moving into the inside of the shoe, there is a air-cooled memory foam insole with a slight arch support. And lastly, as you go to the top, there are some laces here, but they are just for show and not adjustable. The primary feature of this shoe is that it has a built-in shoe horn that allows you to slip your foot in and out of the shoe quickly and comfortably. All right, now I'm gonna go on to show you or tell you about my experience with these shoes because I have used these shoes quite extensively. Let's get into it. So you're probably wondering why I have two pairs here. So this first pair here on the left side or on your right side is a pair that I purchased about a little over a year ago, a year and 3 months to be exact. And here are a pair, the same exact color, brand new. I use these shoes probably almost, I would say 90% of the entire time. So I'd say almost every day I wore these shoes at some point. So there's quite a lot of mileage to these shoes. And as you can see, the difference is relatively minor. You don't see a huge difference between the two. Of course, there's obviously some discoloration and there is some deformation in the form of the shoe, and these are brand new. They're more stiff and you can kind of see it more, the shape of the shoe. You can also see on the soles here, it's not totally easy for you to see, but from my perspective, I can see that it is worn down somewhat on here, but you can still see the treads. They're not completely gone. And that's after having used these almost every day for for like 13 months. Which is pretty remarkable in my mind. So they do hold up well. I'm not showing any like delamination of the sole or any stitching that's coming off. So yeah, these are great. I'm gonna show you a little bit more images of me wearing the shoe so you can see what it looks like. And then I'll go on to my pros and cons. So let me get into the pros and cons of this shoe. So there's far more pros than there are cons. So I'll go into the cons really quick. I'll start off with those. Although it is breathable, I wouldn't consider this an all-terrain shoe. So if it's raining a lot outside, or if you're in a climate where there's snow or whatever, where there's water involved, this wouldn't be particularly good in those conditions, only because this isn't meant to be water resistant, nor waterproof, nor water resistant. So if you're in an area where you're going to encounter a lot of water, just be mindful that you could potentially get wet feet, since the upper of this is not water resistant at all. I think other than that, the arch support, there is arch support to this, and it doesn't. I'm flat-footed, and I need a lot of arch support for me to have a comfortable, to have complete comfort. The arch support on these are acceptable for most people, but and if you require something that requires a higher arch, then you're probably better off with either another shoe, or you'll need to get insoles that provide that extra arch support. Let's get into my pros of this shoe. So biggest thing I'm going to start with first is the slip-on functionality of these. So this slip-on part right here, this like built-in shoe horn is awesome. I swear by it. I never even knew these existed until I got this So I got my first pair, which is in Skechers. So Skechers, in my mind, pioneered this style. When you're slipping your feet in and out, they just go in seamlessly. It's like zero effort to get your feet in and out of this shoe. And the first thought that came to my mind and is going to come up to in a lot of people's minds is, because this is built in here, does it hurt your heel at all? And my answer to that is it doesn't hurt your heel at all. And let me tell you why. Because the spoon, the built-in hard portion, as you can see, is curved outwards, and that prevents the back portion of the heel from actually scraping your Achilles portion of your heel. So you don't have to worry about that. And then on the inside, just on the back side of the heel, there is like some memory foam padding here that sticks out of the hard heel part that cushions your heel as it touches this back part. So it's almost like you don't feel it at all, which is really cool. And so yeah, that's like the biggest positive that I have about this shoe. I can't express how much people need to actually experience this just to understand. So the other thing I really like about it is it's super light. You almost don't feel like you're wearing these shoes. It's like you're walking on clouds. The insoles combined with these soles make you feel like you're walking on like just like kind of like padded cushioning. It's hard to describe, but it's extremely comfortable. And because of that, I can wear these, or I'm actually like tempted to wear these almost all the time, even though I don't necessarily need to. I could wear another pair of shoes. These are almost my go-tos. So I can use these when I'm just walking outside leisurely, use these when I go to work. You can even use these if you go to the gym. That's what they say on their website. I don't know that I'd actually wear them in the gym, but you can use these. These are multifunctional. I mean, if you're traveling and you don't want to carry another extra pair of shoes to use at the gym, you could use these. No big deal. And also since these are so light when you're traveling, I mean, if you had another pair of shoes, you could wear those other shoes and stick these in your bag and you wouldn't even know they're in your bag because they're so light. And they are collapsible almost. The heel's not collapsible, but you can kind of stuff these in your bag easily. They don't take a lot of real estate. And the other positive thing about these, like I said, I had these older shoes for about 1.5 years or 1 year and 3 months. And as you can see, I'm still going strong in these and I haven't had to whip these out. So you can see that the longevity of these are really good and they last a long time. I did want to point out though, there are also, oh no, I thought they were air channels, sorry. But the soles do have traction on them. They aren't completely like grippy, but as you can see, they are somewhat grippy. So they're not completely smooth. So slipping on these isn't as much of an issue as you would think. And and lastly, there's no laces on these. So these are completely slip-in. You don't have to adjust these at all. These laces that are put into here are just for show, just to make the shoe, just for the aesthetics of it. So you don't have to actually adjust this part of it. So these are completely hassle-free, maintenance-free shoe that is perfect for everyday activities. I highly recommend them. And one thing I wanted to mention is that even though they retail for $80, you can basically buy these. You can pretty much you'll never pay retail for these. You can look all over the internet, Google them. You can buy these as low as, they can sometimes come as cheap as $35 for a pair of these. Amazon's probably the best place to look. They run sales on these all the time. All right. So for my final score on these shoes, just because there's hardly anything that bothers me for them, and I've used these almost every day for the last year, I give these a solid 9 out of 10.